1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Banjo land, Mike Heading here, coming to you today with an intermediate banjo lesson. We're going to work on the old Texas tune Beaumont Rag in the key of C. This is a song that's really popular among guitar players and fiddle players. Is made popular by Doc Watson, I worked up my version from my favorite guitar player, Clarence White. You should definitely check out his version. He called it Beaumont Rag or Julius Finkbein's Rag. I'm not sure why he called it that, but check out his version, Clarence White. It's a great version. I worked it up in the key of C, but you can move it around wherever you want. Fiddle players will play this in the key of F, so you could capo 5 and play with a Texas-style fiddle player. A lot of guitar players will play it in C or D, so you can play it open like I am, or capo 2. And again, this is a song you might see in a bunch of different keys depending on who's playing it and what region of the country you're in. So this is Beaumont Rag. I'm going to break down the solo note for note and then show you a bunch of variations I would do for the melody, kind of, again, how to imply a guitar style melody. We're going to do some kind of cross-picking ideas on this song that can be really fun. I'm also going to break down a bunch of backup for this song. So we have some cool ragtime chord changes. I kept the changes a little bit simpler for my version, kind of mimicking Clarence's version, but I'll also show you how to add those kind of Texas style turnaround changes that you might hear on this song as well. So I'll break that down in the backup as well, so you can play it kind of a simple, more bluegrass way, or you can add those Texas-style rhythm changes for the final turnaround if you want to. And if you're watching the preview of this lesson, you can head over to my website, MikeHeadingMusic.com, and grab the full-length lesson. You'll get access to watch all the videos, and you can download the tabs and the practice tracks. All right, here's Beaumont Rag in the key of C. All right, let's start breaking down this intermediate version of Beaumont Rag. We're in the key of C, so let me play the first 5 measures, and we'll start breaking it down. Here we go. Let's do that a few times. 1. One more time, real slow. 1. Okay, we're going to start up here on the 5th fret, and our first chord is a G or G7, even though we're in the key of C. So a little bit kind of not super unusual, but slightly unusual chord change. We're going to start on what's called the 5 chord. So we're in the key of C, but we're starting the song on the key of G, okay? So we're going to walk up kind of like melodically, starting on the 5th fret of the 3rd string on beat 2. And you can use your thumb or index finger, whatever feels comfortable. I'm going to use my thumb. And then open D string, so open 1st string. And then 5th fret on the 2nd string. And then we're going to get up to this 6th fret. So it's basically kind of like doing it down here. Just like that, but we're just playing it up here. Just to give it a little bit different flavor. And so that's how we're walking into it. So 1, 1. Not too hard there, and then we're going to start on a G chord, right? Or kind of a G7. So we're going to hit that 6th fret, which is an F note. So it's the same as the 3rd fret on the 1st string, which would be kind of like a G7. We're going to play that note, and then do a forward roll, 5, 2, 1, and then take your left hand off and do 5, 2, 1 again. So we have... Let's do that. We have 1. And then we're going to go, here's measure 3. We're going to take our 1st finger and slide from 2 to 4 on the 3rd string while doing a forward roll. And then hit the 5th fret on the 1st string. And then roll 4, take your left hand off and do 3, 2, 1, 5, T-I-M-T. And I'll break all this down in more detail in a second. Let's just get through the first part. So we have, and then we're going to do kind of a chromatic lick. Here's measure 4. We're going to put our first finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the 2nd string, play middle, index, middle, thumb. Kind of like a chromatic lick. And then do that same roll again with your right hand. And then the second time, take your 1st finger off. And then we're going to go down to our C chord. And then 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 2 open pull off, and then 4th fret 1st string with your C down. So we have. So let's play those first 5 measures, then we'll break it down in more detail. So here we go. 1. So what are we doing there? Let's break it down. So for our first opening melody, basically the bare bones melody is, so we're basically walking down the notes of a G7 chord. If you did your movable G7 chord at the 5th fret, it's basically be walking down those notes with half notes. And then we're doing basically that same thing on a C. So that's kind of like the underlying essence of the melody in its simplest form. We're doing basically walking down the chord tone, so the notes of the chord for each chord. So we have G7 or G, and then C. So we're just playing that first note up here then we can do more of a roll. And then right here we're grabbing the 2nd note with the open 1st string and then rolling forward. And then right here we're sliding into that note. Instead of going, we're going. To break that down, again we have. So that's the essence of the melody we're playing there. I added that little. That's kind of like a Clarence White thing that I thought was really cool. He would do that a lot. He would slide from that. It's a very guitar. So we have, and then this chromatic lick. So that's just playing, instead of going, playing those on the same string like that. Instead of doing that, we're doing them on different strings. So that you could play with that idea as well. You could do, that's a roll I like to do. You could also flip those around, do index, middle, index, thumb. Just play with that idea there. Or you could do. So let's look at some other ways to imply that melody, right? So we could do more of a Scruggs way. Right? So that'd be kind of like a Scruggs style way, or do it with more of a roll. We're doing kind of a mixture of melodic and Scruggs. We're grabbing this note up here, which is a little bit more melodic, and then we're doing Scruggs. You do it with pinches, or do it more melodic style. So I think this would be a good one to kind of play with that first little melody, see what you can come up with. You could do pinches, do more like bends. Just kind of play with that idea and see if you can get that melody. And it doesn't have to be exact. Just see what you can come up with. It doesn't have to be note for note. Again, you got to throw some stuff at the wall to see what you can come up with. But this is a great song to practice some of those basic, improvisations. You could play it how I've written. Or again, do it with more pinches or rolls. Do it down here too. We'll do it down here the second time, but you could also do something like that, or just kind of play with that idea and see what you can come up with. This is good practice, okay? So let's do the first 5 measures one more time. 1. The other thing with this little chromatic lick is make sure your hands spread out enough. If you're back like that, it's easy to have that note be a little sour, so make sure you're stretched out enough That's also a good roll to practice. Just practice the right hand of that roll. Okay, so that's through measure 5. Now we're going to kind of mimic a cross-picking idea on guitar. We can't do it exactly like they do it on guitar because we don't have a lower note, but we're gonna move our right hand down to the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, and we're gonna play T, I, M, T, I, M, T, I. So we have, we're gonna basically walk up, open, 2, 3 on the low string, on the 4th string with a roll. So I'm doing T, I, M. Again, your middle finger's moving down to the 2nd string, which might feel a little bit weird. And then doing that same roll. And then doing thumb, index. Or you could do thumb, middle there on 2nd string, but I'm letting my index finger take over there. So we have... And again, we just want to hear that walking line, and then we're basically going to do that in measure 7. Keep that idea going. The notes would be open, 2, and then 4. So we have, so we're basically walking up kind of a ascending line over a G chord, and we're just doing more picking. So we have, and then measure 7, open 3rd string, and then right here we're just going to apply this with a pull-off lick, 2, open, and then a 3-2 pull-off. So let's play 6 and 7. We have. With that one, it kind of accent your thumb. You really want to hear those notes changing. Another way you could do that is maybe like do a different roll. You could do like a forward reverse roll. I'm just not using the 5th string there and just using strings 4, 4, 3, and 2. 4, 3, and 2. That'd be like another way to apply those notes. Or you could do alternating thumb. You just want to hear that walk up, and again with the forward roll it syncopates it, which is cool. But you could do again alternating thumb roll or forward reverse roll. So again, that's another spot you could create a variations on these G or G7 chords. So we walk up in 7, remember, and then we want to get up to this 1st fret in measure 8. So that's back to our C, and then a 2 open pull off on the 3rd string. And then open 2 hammer on with the forward roll, 4, 3, 1, 5. And then we're going to play the 1st fret, so keep your C down, play that twice. And that's our walk up that we did in the 1st part. And then we're going to get back to here. So for the 2nd time, the solo for the A part starts over in measure 10. So in measure 9, we took that and moved it down here. So let's do 8 and 9 together, so it's not too hard. We have. So let's do 6 through 9. We have. Again, there's a couple ways you could play measure 8. You could start. I'm starting with my thumb, but probably, to be honest, sometimes I would do that with my index finger as well. But I would try and do it with your thumb. Okay, that's up to measure 9. That's the 1st half of the A part. Let's play the 1st half of the A part. Here we go. Do that again. Okay, that's up to measure 10.